Let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is David Evans. I'm the president of Summer Fuel. Summer Fuel runs a variety of different summer programs for high school students. So we have everything from pre-college enrichment programs at some of the most prestigious universities in the world, like Stanford, Berkeley, Oxford. We have leadership and innovation programs at Columbia in New York City. And then we also run language immersion programs too. So we have programs in France and Spain as well. So my entire business is based around the summer. So the months of July and August. My friends always ask me, so you run summer programs, so what do you do the rest of the year? Well, you know, I have to be here and recruit students and try and get people to come on our summer programs. So the summer is a really important time of year for high school students, certainly in the United States, and I think also here in Russia and worldwide. It's an opportunity to really complement what you're doing during the school year, the academic year, supplement it. So I really see my job at Summer Fuel as trying to find new and different ways for students to experience their summer. So there are so many choices for high school students now, whether it's backpacking, whether it's community service, whether it's pre-college enrichment programs, whether it's SAT preparation. There's so many choices, and what we try to do at Summer Fuel is to try and do things that are unique, that are different. So that's why we try and have, when possible, exclusive partnerships with different organizations so that our students can experience something that is truly unique and authentic. So for example, we have a program at the ESADE Business School in Barcelona. So we're the only group that's allowed to bring students into ESADE. We're the only outside group that is allowed to have a program at Stanford University. We're officially sponsored by a dean at Stanford. We have a new program in New York City with Christie's Auction House. So we're the only people who can bring high school students into Christie's Auction House to take art courses. So again, that level of authenticity is very important as well. And I think what we always try to do in our programs too, which is very important, is to stress balance. So it's not just what you're doing in the classroom, but it's outside the classroom as well. So there's the academic side, which I think where the motivation piece comes in. And then there's the social side, which is where the independence piece comes in. So we put as much emphasis on our academic classes as we do on our residential programming and activities, so that our students have a really complete experience. So it's not like you go to class and then as soon as class is finished, you're on your own. We have a whole range of activities that we're organizing every afternoon, evening, and weekend. So that overall balance and that comprehensive experience is really important. And as we know as adults from going to university, you certainly learn as much out of the classroom as you do in the classroom when it comes to your overall development. So that's really important for us. Great. And remember, in high school, you only have 4 summers in high school to do something that is valuable. So I think what I've learned from college admissions and talking to people at Harvard and Stanford and some of the most selective colleges in the United States is summer is actually a very important part of the college admissions process too. So when I was a kid, I did nothing in summer. I played football with my friends, I hung out. You can't really get away with that anymore. So I think what colleges are looking for is for students to pursue an interest, show an interest in something, not just sporadically, but over time. So for example, if you're interested in engineering or architecture, you start with maybe an architecture course after your first year of high school summer. Then you take it up, then maybe you spend some time in an architect's office, etc., etc. So you follow this interest over an extended period of time because it shows that you're truly motivated and you have a genuine interest. And again, colleges are look upon that very favorably. Great. So I'll just go over some bullet points of how, having done this for 20 years, that I've seen that students have really been able to get the most out of their summer. So the first thing is obviously travel. In and of itself, travel is a fantastic way to spend the summer, to get out of your comfort zone, to really, in order to do one of our programs, there's a certain level of bravery that comes with that, from leaving Moscow at the age of 14 or 15, going to Stanford, going to Georgetown, going to Harvard, one of these programs. So that in and of itself, there's certainly some value in that. I think the sense of community is really important as well for students, again, not just in the classroom, but outside the classroom. So the idea that you're living with other students, not just from the United States, but really from all over the world. And certainly we've seen recently that, and this is true in US college admissions or undergraduate admissions as well, students are increasingly coming from everywhere. So college campuses in the United States are increasingly international. And that's a great advantage for US universities. It's also a great advantage for a student coming from Moscow or from Madrid or from London. It's an opportunity to really see how interconnected our world is and how global our world is. And to live with students from different cultures, different backgrounds is a tremendously valuable experience. So within that community too, it's learning how to have a roommate, for example. A lot of students have never been away from home before, so having a roommate. A mother whose son went on one of our programs a few years ago was, apart from all the classes, apart from all the activities, apart from the friends her son made, the thing she was most excited about was that her son had actually learned how to do his own laundry that summer. So, there are lots of different benefits to these programs. The other opportunity that I think is really important in the summertime is high school students, certainly in the United States, I'm sure it's similar here, are under a lot of pressure during the academic year. So the summer is really an opportunity to get away from some of that pressure, to really learn for the sake of learning. Take some classes, take some risks, take some classes that you might not normally have had a chance to do during a regular academic year. You don't have to worry so much about grades or GPAs or test scores. It's really an opportunity to explore or take an existing interest further, or I think equally importantly, try your hand at something completely different, completely new. And when you're doing that with a new group of students, and when you're in that type of supportive environment, it's really a tremendous way to really explore your interests and take a deep breath and really find out what motivates you, what's important to you, because going to college in the United States is a massive investment, so you don't want to go for the wrong reasons. You want to try and be able to focus as early as possible on where your interests lie to make those college years the most valuable in every sense of the word. And just getting a preview of college life while you're still in high school is also incredibly valuable. Just being able to navigate the day-to-day schedule of being on a college campus, from time management to being more independent. Certainly on our programs, we really try and treat you as much as possible as a college student. So that means if you go to our Berkeley program in California, you have a Berkeley ID, you take your classes in the morning. We organize things every afternoon, every evening, but nobody's forcing you to do anything. So you're making a lot of choices of how to spend your time and how to balance your time between academic commitments and activities. So that type of balance is extremely valuable. And we've heard from our alumni that having gone on a summer program with us, by the time they got to college, it made that transition so much easier because they'd done it before, they'd been there. Admittedly only for a month or 5 weeks, but just being on that in that college environment really helped them when it came time to go to college for real themselves. And I think that's also important too, because our students who go on our programs have a real say in how their summer works. So obviously there are structured times during the day when you're doing certain classes or activities, but we want to make sure that our students have a voice. Like in college, you'll decide what you want to do to a certain extent. So there's a lot of freedom. It's not like in a traditional academic environment where it's class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are a lot of pockets during the day where students can make their own decisions. And I know from directing programs myself that it's often the things that the students find on their own that are the most profound and the most valuable. So it's great to come to a museum with me, but often it's the experiences with new friends and people that they've met on the programs that will really be the most powerful ones for them, because they're controlling it. It's their input, it's their footprint that is really, they're customizing their experience in many ways. And I think, as I mentioned before, because our student community in the summer is so diverse, it's also really valuable to see how other people solve problems, how other people's cultures or backgrounds can really influence their approach to the summer program, but also I think it helps our students find out more about themselves as well. So that, students on our programs, they come from 36 different countries, about 40 different US states, so it's a truly global community. And that, again, as I said before, is extremely valuable. What we hope is that our programs will really allow students to focus during the summertime. So by the time they come home, they have a better idea of where their interests lie, perhaps where they want to go to college, degrees they want to study, and even the careers they might pursue one day. So again, the summertime is a fantastic time to experiment. It's a time to really try your hand at something new and discover something that you never even knew you were interested in, and that's incredibly valuable. I think it's really valuable for us when we hear from our old students that they took a course in architecture at our Oxford program, and now they're studying architecture, or they've become an architect. So again, the summertime is really that an opportunity to really spread your wings a little bit, and in an environment where there's no pressure for grades, etc., you can really learn just for the sake of learning.